good? What's good? What's good, fam? Lee. This is Queen Common Sense coming back to you from the Chi Town, holding it down. Remix to the Kakalaka Country Bama Sticks. Whew. It's been one. Oh, Lord. So I love you. I hope everybody is drinking their water. And we ain't minding our business no more because we got all the smoke. And I'm circling back around, spinning the block on Legion, Jezebel Martell. You know, rejection and the word no when you are raising a family is very important. And a lot of times with raising young boys, sons, you have to say no, even when you don't want to. That's really with all children, but especially strong-willed sons. Coddling them, enabling them, you know, minimizing the gravity of the things they say and do, especially if they have sisters or female relatives other than you as their mother. It's very imperative that you remain firmly planted on the word no and do not budge because you will wind up with an overgrown toddler who has very intense physical strength. And we have seen it all before, whether we want to admit it or not. I've seen some sons raise up and curb stomp their mama because she emasculated and or coddled said son. Now, I think any sister walking the face of this planet has encountered a nigga like Jezebel Martell who cannot take no for an answer. And if you are unfortunately enthralled in a relationship with one of them, they retaliate. And we don't even have to rehash all that. We've seen Jezebel Martell retaliate while in the marriage. The overgrown toddler boy walking around in a penguin suit, 3 sizes too small, having full blown adult temper tantrums all over the screen. And guess who is responsible for creating that Frankenstein? You guessed it, his mammy. Okay? Because she did not tell him no. She never corrected his behavior up and to the point of catching a felony. And now we have surpassed that and we are headed to prison bars. Okay? Because everything comes out in the wash, like my grandmother used to say. When you overturn one stone, be sure that there's not an ant colony underneath it. Because when you disturb that stone, them ants gonna make you dance. So we're gonna go to something that I thought was uber powerful in illustrating how adult modern males can't handle rejection. We all have been walking down the street, sitting at a stoplight, whatever, minding our own damn business. One of these Pookie Ray Ray niggas roll up flopping their soup coolers, getting on your nerves, and you just try to politely ease on out the way, but they follow you, you reject them, and then you become every ungodly name under the sun simply because you just did not want to be bothered that day, or you were in a hurry, or he just was creepy. Every woman has the right to say no. Every mother has, should, in my opinion, utilize that word generously. No, without an explanation. That is not up for discussion, son. No. Okay. And when you gather yourself, we'll discuss why later. But that's that. All the extra, histrionics, that Marlene does. Where my boy? That is feeding his ego. That's not strengthening his character. That's not enhancing his moral compass or any type of emotional maturity because he still thinks and acts and maneuvers like a toddler, like he needs his mama's approval with everything he does, except the clandestine, decadent, vile shit that he's been doing ever since he came to the cast with his then wife, Melody. Now, shout out to Angry Biracial Reacts channel. This was posted a day ago, and this is a trigger warning. I want to just give you a trigger warning. Um, a real story of what he calls Kangs, Jezebel Martell type energy, and basement Billy type energy when you reject Pookie Ray Ray. So let's get into it. Here we go. I'm biracial and I'm proud. I'm biracial and I proclaim it loud. I'm biracial, no hate can keep me down. No matter what my haters say, I proudly rep both of my races today. I'm biracial and I'm proud. I'm biracial and I proclaim it loud. I'm biracial and no hate can.
Salam alaikum, you two was cracking. It's your angry biracial back with another video. Before we dive into this video, I want to give a trigger warning. This video contains some horrible and disgusting abuse. If you are a victim or a survivor, you might want to skip this one. That being said, grab your favorite drink, your popcorn, sit back, relax, and let's dive right in.
We are learning more about what led up to the death of a 17-year-old girl in the city's North Lawndale neighborhood, and we do.
Sorry, we're gonna let this commercial rock. Shout out to Angry Biracial Reacts. Y'all buckle up. We get ready to dig deep through surgery. Let's go.
The details are disturbing.
Her boyfriend, who is charged in her murder, appeared in court today. WGN's Alyssa Donovan is live at 26th in California with more. Alyssa.
Yeah, Ben and Micah, that 18-year-old allegedly strangled and killed his 17-year-old girlfriend over the weekend. Today, both of those teens' families were in the courtroom, which led to some very tense moments. And eventually, as the hearing ended, a brawl in the courtroom.
So this is also for Nell. Shout out to Nell Fletcher. This is for you too, Toots. Because you seem to feel like uh, we shouldn't call the zookeeper on the wild animal who is constantly covertly disturbing the well-being of the mother of his children. This is the mother of his children now, okay, who is been ongoing harassing, trying to assassinate the character of his ex-wife, the one who cares for those children every day, to the point where she has refused to film with this person. Now, people just don't wake up one day and decide, oh, you know what? I just don't like him no more. I don't want to be around him no more because he cheated on me. Okay, people get past that, they move on, they divorce. They decide to live cohesively and be civil and say, hey, we'll co-parent. Other than that, kick bricks. But this is way beyond, you know, that now. So let's peep this out, see, listen to how this unfolded. And now, uh, two whole families are ruined because somewhere an elder dropped the damn ball.
Family members of a murdered teen escorted out of the Cook County Courthouse Tuesday following a fight in
This is Chicago, Illinois, Cook County, DOC, over there on California Avenue. Yeah, Chicago, Chi-Town, Chi-City. Let's go.
inside the courtroom with relatives of the teen's alleged killer. 18-year-old Micah Hell Cunningham is charged with first-degree murder in the death of his girlfriend, 17-year-old Cheyenne Washington. According to the state's attorney, first responders were directed to Cunningham's home in the 1200 block of South Washtenaw Avenue in North Lawndale at 1 p.m. Saturday, where they found Washington unresponsive and slumped over in the living room. The 17-year-old had old bruises, new bruises, and visible trauma to her face, neck, and shoulders. The Cook County Medical Examiner ruling she died from asphyxia and assault. During today's hearing, the prosecutor said Washington had stayed the night at Cunningham's, where they smoked weed in his bedroom before falling asleep. According to his statement to police, Cunningham awoke several times throughout the night to find his girlfriend unresponsive, slapping her to try and wake her, but says she was still breathing. In the morning, she would not wake up, so he contacted her brother, who called police. Cunningham was taken into custody, and police say he admitted to strangling Washington on 2 separate occasions. Stains believed to be her blood were also discovered in his room. And according to the state's attorney, Cunningham has 2 prior domestic violence incidents, including one where another victim accused him of strangling her. That was back in 2022. The judge ruled today that Cunningham will be detained pending his trial. His next date in court is April 2nd.
Now, do we see how severe this can get? This is horrible. So if this is something that is too overwhelming for you, please don't continue, because I don't want anybody to be triggered in a negative way that they have to recover from. But I just want to illustrate for Nell and all the other supporters of Jezebel Martell, anybody who wants to minimize these type of things. Are we supposed to? Was Mel supposed to wait until, you know, he gate crashed her house, while the babies are sleeping in their room tucked away, to where he got so angry and frustrated that Mel would not take him back? He caught her slipping. Is that what she was supposed to do? Wait to see how far he was gonna go? Now, since he shouldn't go to jail, where does he belong? Because clearly he's not gonna get counseling. We know that. That's what he's been dragging his ass on all this time, is getting that psyche eval. We really don't need it. We see that he's unhinged. So when is it time to call the police on these rabid animals?
We're live tonight at 26 and Cal. Alyssa Donovan, WG.
Before I dive into this, I ask that you forgive me in advance. It's still Ramadan and I'm fasting, so my mouth is extremely dry. If you see me licking my lips a lot during the video clips, it's not me trying to channel my inner LL Cool J. I just have a really dry mouth from fasting. By the time you see this video, it will be the middle of May, so Ramadan will be long done. There is something desperately wrong with modern male. He was beating that poor girl for weeks and months. She had.
There was a time when I barely knew how.
So this woman was being abused for weeks and months on end. Who knows, probably longer. And she never called the police. She didn't tell anybody. Why? Because of what we see unfolding right before our very eyes with Melody Cherie Rogers. Whenever we report this type of horrid treatment, and it doesn't matter if you're a black woman, white, Asian, women are the least respected and protected, and black women especially. So when were we supposed to be proactive about this level of abuse now?
Bruises and new bruises until he finally deleted her. These dudes are so desperate for power, for control, to feel like the high value man that they are not. That demons like Kevin Samuels and other Red Pill podcasts push out. That when they don't get that treatment that they feel they deserve, they become violent, they become abusive, and they end up deleting an innocent woman, in this case, a little girl, who just wanted to live her life and not be trapped by some modern piece of crap who feels that just because he has a penis, that you should bow down and worship the ground he walks on.
Now y'all remember with more reckless Luther King Scott, he told the content creators that you take that content down and I want a public apology. And when he didn't get his public apology, what happened? He had an adult temper tantrum and fraudulently filed a civil lawsuit against certain content creators. And now that boomerang has come full circle, hasn't it? Let's go, y'all.
Modern males are lost. There is no defending that modern male's actions. There is nothing his family can.
Did y'all hear that? There's no defending the actions of these Pookie Ray Ray, Jezebel Martell, Reckless Reese, Luther King, and the mammies that sweep this under the rug. Nell Fletcher. And we're gonna get on them ladies later. So let's finish this piece of how modern males cannot handle rejection and why. Let's peep.
Do or say to justify what he did. That little girl's family had every right to be in their feelings, to be in their emotions, and to accost them because they knew how their son was, how their brother was. And their silence is alliance. Their silence co-signed the deletion of that little girl. It's sad and disgusting that in today's society, people just don't care about anybody anymore. How could you
That's the thing right there. Nobody gave a damn about how Melody was suffering. All they cared about was the attention that this show would bring to them in their own individual respects. The fact that these hood rich backwoods, country dumb folk. We's on TV, not massa. Faking, pump faking, celebrityism, and abusing a national platform. The OWN network is known globally. Okay, and this is the representation of Black excellence that we have to choose from when it comes to reality or primetime television. No, thank you. Let's go.
Stand by, knowing how your son, how your brother gets down, knowing he has a history of doing this to women. That family silence makes them guilty. They directly played a role in that 17-year-old.
Silence is complicit and complacent, and you are just as guilty as the person who is delivering the abuse, just as guilty as sweeping it under the rug. It's the same thing. You might as well participate in said abuse. Now, you act like an animal. I'ma call the zookeepers to get you to drink a can of act right. And then I'ma have the zookeepers pull out their little net and capture your ass and haul you down there and put you in a motherfucking cage. I don't care if you black man, blue black man. I don't give a fuck if you come directly from the continent of Africa, black man. You act like an animal, you get the zookeeper called out to see you. Period. It's gone are the days of, suffering in silence. Okay? We ain't finna do that. And yeah, the way when I was up there in Cook County, you know, I kept me some piece of steel on both hips. And I would dare them niggas to pop off at the mouth. They would be skipping double dutch down the street, trifling around with me. Let's go.
Little girl not being here today.
Alert man's tonight in a homicide investigation just blocks away from St. Roch Market.
We now know the identity of the 21-year-old woman who was killed in the incident, and bond was just set for the suspect. This is a story we first brought to you yesterday.
WGSU reporter Shay O'Connor joins us live from St. Roch and Murray with the latest on this investigation. Shay.
Good evening, Gina and Sulla. Yeah, we found out today that the suspect and the victim had actually been in an on and off again relationship, and that they also had a small child. Now, as you can see, there is a makeshift memorial here in the area where the accident happened yesterday for the young mother. Today, I actually spoke with both of their families who say they are all struggling to come to grips with just what happened.
She was a beautiful soul. She touched a lot of lives. She meant a lot to a lot of people.
Sky Guillory, the older sister of 21-year-old Anastasia Rayborn, says the young mother had a love for music and had dreams of being a creator one day.
I think that she would want people to learn from this, and whenever you ask for help, accept the help.
We're told Rayborn had been in an off and on again relationship with Anthony Cooper, the father of.
And that's another, telltale sign of why we need to keep a close eye on our sons and give them boundaries, because you are the first woman he ever will love. You're his mother, his teacher, his guide, his emotional support, the nurturer, you know, so he can relate to the feminine portion of himself, which is you. And if you don't give him all of the elements he needs in a spiritual, metaphysical, emotional, social manner, you wind up with a Jezebel Martell. Okay, we're gonna let this commercial rock. Let's go.
Done. Family says they were trying to mend their relationship when they got into an argument Monday morning. An argument that turned deadly in the St. Rock area. Guillory, who lives in Florida, says the two had a history of domestic issues and mental struggles.
She was at the women's shelter and she told me if I heard from Tony, not to tell him that I heard from her.
Both families tell WDSU the couple had fallen on hard times and went their separate ways. Cooper's mom had the toddler in her custody. We're told the couple had just gotten back together.
Everybody has the issues, and I don't know too much about their relationship, the inside.
Hoping for a fresh start with his family, Cooper's uncle tells WDSU his nephew had just saved up money to rent a home here along Murray. Family also says the two had a meeting Tuesday with Child Protection Services to try to start seeing their son more regularly. But
Should we wait until this point now to where social services has to step in, is forced to step in and remove the four-piece chicken nuggets and place them in foster care and separate the siblings? And then who knows what else worse, disgusting, vile shit might happen to them while they're in foster care? Since black men, you shouldn't be calling police on black men. Let's go.
that would never happen.
I'm still like traumatized. I'm still don't even believe this happened. Like, I really be honest with you, I'm like still lost for words. I'm like, I've been emotional all day.
She took care of that baby as much as she could. She really did.
Neither family knows what the argument was about or what made Cooper brutally kill the mother of his child. But Sky says seeking help for mental struggles isn't talked about enough. She also had this message.
If you're unsafe, please ask for help and take advantage.
You heard that now? If you feel unsafe, ask for help. Jezebel Martell is not safe, nor is Basement Billy. And if you push the limit hard enough, you'll bring that out in more reckless Luther King Scott. It'll come out in him too. He has, kingpin tendencies with these, Nino Brown type videos with his Christmas brooch on, with his button up all the way up to his neck so tight. He looked like ready for the world, getting ready to sing Oh Sheila, with dangling brooches and bedazzles and shit hanging off of his dress shirt. Let's go.
Leave when you can.
And Cooper is currently being held on a $2 million bond for second-degree murder. Court officials say that if he does bond out, he'll be placed on 24-hour home arrest.
These white women are quickly starting to discover that they are getting the same old violent, deranged bums that black women have been having to deal with. A lot of
But see, the European woman likes to try to romanticize this type of dysfunctional, vile energy because she feels she can emulate and be more ghetto and slovenly and sloppy and tacky than the tackiest of black women. And a lot of European women think that the more trifling they are and destitute they are, that's more attractive to certain types of black men, and in a lot of ways it's true. Okay, I said it. And I don't give a fuck because I've watched it in my own damn family. Okay. One of my sister-in-laws is a lazy, messy, slow Becky. And she like to put her nose in situations that don't concern her. And when she is confronted about her behavior, she go full blown Karen. Except she knows not to pop off on me because she can catch it. Okay, which is why we stay away from each other. Okay. So now, where are we supposed to wait? for one of these niggas on this show to get this volatile to where it turns out horrible for both sides? Or do you want her to guard the, that's a stupid question. I mean, let's go.
Today's modern black men are leftover men that black women don't want. And sadly, so many desperate white women dig through the trash heap hoping to build a dusty, thinking that their complexion will provide them.
How many times I had to say that? You are chasing after and pursuing and thirst trapping black males of a certain caliber that a sister would never even see. If he fell out the sky in her lap, she would pay him dust. So that's another thing why I don't understand a lot of our sisters have to feel like they need to pay tutelage to these European females who feel like they're doing us a favor just by interacting with us. And they feel so inclined to pry and ask inappropriate questions and change up their vernacular because they think and are programmed to understand that Black people are stupid and slow because of our dialect and how we use more consonants than vowels when we speak in a relaxed setting. Mhm. So, sometimes if you ain't never been to the ghetto, don't come to the ghetto. Okay? Shout out to Rick James, rest in power.
Some protection, that their skin tone will afford them a different outcome. As I said earlier, there's something wrong with modern males. They are unhinged. And no matter what race of woman these modern males touch, they will destroy. They will hurt, abuse, delete, and leave them as single mothers. That is what these modern males are known for. If you get with a certain group of modern male, you're guaranteed to be a single mother. They are known to be the world's biggest deadbeat fathers. What this video didn't show, for whatever reason, was how he deleted her. She got out of the vehicle to try to run away from him, and he rammed her and ran her over.
There was a time when I barely knew how to turn on a computer.
All right, we're going to
Now,
let this
I'm a
commercial rock. Sorry, fam. This is
He
deep.
pressed on that gas so hard that he went into that building. The moment that poor woman met that piece of crap, she was doomed. Things were going so bad for her that she had to stay in a shelter as a way to protect herself from him.
And had Melody not been somebody long before she even knew Jezebel Martell was breathing, she had plans for her life. She already knew she was a star before she met that fool. That's how they became multimillionaires before Love and Marriage Huntsville. Okay. Melody was in her mid to late 20s when she became a millionaire the first time while she was married. So, enough about this garbage. People talking about, oh, well, she's just bitter. I bet all y'all ignorant mutants feel stupid because now that she pulled the plug and cut the electricity off, we see now who's the powerhouse. Okay. She damn son.
Because of the actions of that modern male, his biracial son will grow up in a system that is anti-black, that will only see him as a black male. And the trauma that poor biracial kid will endure once he realizes that his black father abused, deleted, and destroyed his mother. Us angry biracials are not just born this way. We are the products of our absent, abusive, deranged piece of crap black fathers, and every other black male like the man we hailed from. The privilege these other races of women have to think that they would have a better outcome is just baffling. Black women are divesting. They started an entire movement to escape Blackistan, to escape black men. And instead of stopping to think on why black women are leaving black men alone, on why they are divesting, they end up picking up a discarded Dusty and become his next victim.
And all of them on the cast, from Jezebel Martell to Mamba Marceau, uh, Reckless, My Reckless, Luther King Scott, just dusty. No accountability, no direction, just a bunch of hot air and time wasting nonsense is what they have to offer any woman.
I feel sorry for that poor woman and her family. My heart breaks for that poor biracial child because I understand and know what it's like being biracial and growing up in that system and the identity crisis that's surely to come from it. That system will tell him he's
Just damaging and fucking up kids and not giving them the proper exposure and education on their, multicultural background and heritage. Just because you see a black women having babies with black men, you want a pretty little fetish black baby too. You want to be able to play in that kinky hair every day. You want to be able to make her look like a baby doll every day because you have no substance in your culture for the most part. And our children are born with their eyes open. Okay, let's go. Y'all feel me?
just black. And the black community will tell him he's not black enough. And it will be years, if ever, until he comes to terms with the fact that he's biracial. And that's okay. And he learns to be proud of that. I'm going to end this video here. I'm trying to make my videos a little bit shorter, so bear with me. But before I go, you know I gotta shout out my new book, Kang, A Story of Survival.
And there you have it, folks. He's an author as well, published author, amazing singer. In his intro, that's him singing. So go over there to Angry Biracial Reacts. Click that like, smash the bell, subscribe. Um, he be keeping his foot on the necks of Jezebel Martell type deals. And I wanted to point something out too that I thought was very interesting. It just dropped in my spirit as I was looking at these intellectually challenged women, you know. It's disturbing, and I think quiet as it's kept, I think these women fall under the category of having Stockholm syndrome. People experiencing Stockholm syndrome might start to sympathize with their abusers and even feel that they are in the right. They may also start to internalize and rationalize physical and emotional abuse, believing that they deserve it. Cap and Kimmy. You got professional side chicks, who will probably never be a wife or chosen. hmm Serial daters. And if they do get married, is to arrange some type of agreement. This is how long we're going to do this. We're going to, put on all the airs that we are together, even though we can't stand each other. and I'm desperate and I need a place to sleep. So we're going to keep up this facade. And the most dominant evil force takes over. And that's the narcissist because you get blindsided with their behavior. So I just wanted to share that with you briefly. I did. And kind of, give it another perspective of just exactly when is it okay to call the police, which are hired to protect and serve the community and enforce the law. I'm still lost on how Mel is bitter. I'm still lost there. So somebody, if you can, leave it in the comments. Maybe I'm slow and I don't understand that when someone is threatening you, someone is harassing you, someone is constantly dragging your name day in and day out for not just a couple weeks, not just a couple months, but years. Do you think that's stable behavior? Okay, I didn't think so. So, we should not pull any punches with male violence. The volatility of these men who's been coddled and really never been through much all his life, other than the fact that his mammy probably couldn't keep a job. Okay. And Mel recognized how much of a hard time she was having and said, you know what, we got it. Just go and put her in a house, just write the check every month for the mortgage and everything like that. She could take care of all her incidentals and side notes. But no, even though uh that woman was one of the most cantankerous women, my mother-in-law. Ooh, it was something else. So we just have to put ourselves first. This is triggering for me. I'm just like outdone at how everybody on that cast tried to downplay what Melody went through. That's where I'm at with it. So, you know, something to think about. Something to think about. But we'll be back with another one. And we're gonna walk this out. And hopefully, we threw some more dots up there to connect for, these bird brain busy females who call themselves black women, supposed to be so educated and have so much experience with conflict resolution, leadership, all of that. That's part of being an entrepreneur. And if some of that is lacking, some of those elements are lacking, we get a black mamba Marceau, somebody who is ass backwards and has no idea what they're doing in the business realm, but is always coming for the very person who no longer allowed you to use her and pull on her purse strings and help her then husband pay his paramour's bills with her hard earned money. Okay? So I'm gonna make this a little bit shorter than I normally do because it's super duper early in the morning. It's 2:11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time Friday, and I am tired. And I love you. Namaste. Be blessed. Continue to think for yourself. Love a nice suit, funky loafers with no socks on inside of them, a bunch of yammering, complaining, nitpicking, you are with a narcissist. Okay. Run like hell and do not let them know your next move, period. When I say I was stalked for a whole year. And I found out after the fact that my ex-husband had went over to my mom's house to tell her we were divorcing, knowing that we don't fuck with each other like that. He did that to be facetious to get me to try to reach out to him and say, "Why would you do that?" And I ignored it. Everything he did, every extreme he went to get me to, uh, you know, tarnish my track record of ignoring him, he pushed every button he could, and it didn't work. A whole year and some change went by until finally, I just wrote a very short professional letter to our pastor when we were together at the time. That was our pastor. That I just put, pardon me, I just put the divorce decree in the body, and I said in writing, I was like, please teach your son at home so when he grows up, he doesn't become a domestic terrorist. And if I don't correct him now, he's going to be an adult who thinks he can do whatever the fuck they want to do to that child or the mama or whoever. And we're not going to say nothing. We're not going to report it because black men shouldn't be going to jail. Now, so anyway, connecting the dots. I'll be back to you tomorrow with a little bit more content, some juicy stuff. I found some goodies. And I hope y'all be blessed, rest well. I know I am. I'm getting ready to crash. I'm exhausted. And Apollo is finally snoring. So, love you. One love, black power, black family, black women, black adult men. What you think, fam? Do you think these women have a touch of Stockholm syndrome? In my opinion, it's close. It's accurate. Uh, Just my opinion, you know. But Kimmy, I know you embarrassed with my reckless Luther King Scott on the loose. I hope I hope you didn't spend all your little nursing nest egg on that nigga, flossing, trying to front like y'all got long money like that. Cause the only one on that show that got long money like that, Melody Cherie Rogers, and whenever her mother was on there for the bridge, she was them two the only ones successful on that show, other than the 4-piece chicken nuggets. So y'all rest good. I love you. Drop them eagle feathers in the comment section if you feel me. Like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already, and stay tuned. I'm coming back with some good stuff. All right, I'm out, folks.